This will be the first of 2 videos. They're going to be kind of long, but hang with me. There's going to be a lot of good stuff in here.
It's a good place to start. And when I saw that, the first thing that came to mind is, man, I've been deceived about 9/11. And if I've been deceived about 9/11, what else have I been deceived about? That was started on my journey to looking into 9/11, studied the Quran, Islam, New Age, the Holy Scriptures, Christianity, Mormonism, Hinduism, Buddha, I mean, you name it. I studied everything, magical, Solomon, all kinds of things out there. And a lot of people may disagree with that. Like, oh, you don't need to open that door or whatever. And that's fine. If that's the way you believe, then I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, you need to study all of the facts and all things sometimes and figure out, what's going on. You need to hear, sometimes it's the old adage, the salesman showed up to my door and he was going to sell me a gun, and I didn't want to talk to him. But the next week I had to be involved in a fight, and I took a knife to the gunfight. Everybody had guns and I had a knife, but because I didn't listen, that's kind of maybe it's a bad analogy, but sometimes you need to study many different things to get a broader perspective on the world. And I could have done that. I grew up in America, and I could have just went with Christianity. That's the main thing, Christianity. But you just can't do that just because you grew up in a country that the main dominance is Christianity. So when I went looking for truth, I wanted to hear everything that I wasn't normally exposed to, and then make a judgment from there. So anyway, this was shown to me. Started studying Christianity a little more because it started matching up with a lot of the things that were happening in the world versus a lot of the other stuff that didn't really make any sense. It was all good, to a certain degree, and made you feel good or whatever, but some of the prophecies and things that I found in the scriptures, the Holy Bible, matched up with a lot of different things going on. And what was very interesting was in the Holy Scriptures that the 66 books, I'm saying the King James, it was interesting that the last kingdom before Christ returns to break it up is a resurrected Roman Empire. And I find it very interesting that this image that was shown to me is the Roman numerals of 9/11 and then Rome. So that started coming together a little bit more for me. Still didn't, get the full picture. I'm just unlocking layers and layers of the onion of 9/11. So I prayed a lot, started praying, going with the Christianity thing because it was matching up, and I started noticing that the elites of the world, there was a lot of attacks on Christianity versus there wasn't that many attacks on the other religions at what Jesus Christ was doing or what he did. Like I said, I went looking for truth wherever it was going to lead me, and usually where the enemy is focused, that's where the truth is. And they're focused on what Jesus Christ was about and what he did. You may disagree with that, but I'm just telling you, from my studies of things, of what was going on in the world, that was very, very clear. So when I started reading the scriptures and I started praying and getting real serious, I prayed about the mark of the beast. I prayed about the key of David. I didn't want to take the mark of the beast. What was the mark of the beast? Some of these prophecies that is kind of convoluted and you can't understand them. Are they symbolism? Are they literal? That kind of thing. So when I was praying about it one day, and I was just saying, tell me a little more about the plans here. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to, go to hell and all this stuff that, preachers preach. So one day I was just riding down the road and I heard a voice, and not crazy or anything like that, but plain as day said, put my son's cross over it, times it, and add it. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I have no idea what that's about. I didn't even think about this image. I just heard, put my son's cross on it, times it, add it, and that you'll get answers. So I'm like, okay. So it still didn't hit me. About a month later, I'm driving around, and it hits me. I'm like, oh man, he wants me to put it over this image, over 9/11. So I went home and I put the cross, basically like this, over the image of 9/11. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. I'm not that smart of a guy. Help me out with this, whatever. But then when I was studying, you remember all the other stuff that people don't want to get involved and read, don't want to read this, don't want to read that. But I read in the Emerald Tablet that all magic, even David Copperfield, any magician, all magic comes from one formula that they all use. And that is, as above, so below. Everything is based off of that, how they do things. It's formulated from that. All magic formula, as above, so below. And you can read that. So, knowing that, then I took that very interesting concept of magic and I applied it to this. And I'm like, wait a minute, this makes two sets of numbers. Well, four numbers now. One above and mirrored below. This is how the elite do certain things. And again, if you think I'm this smart, then you got to think again. You got to understand what I was being shown was beyond me. It was supernatural. So I took that, applied it, and then now it makes two sets of numbers. 4, 4, 6, 6. I hope you see that. It's in Roman numerals. Got that right there. Got the 4 and the 6 up above. And then mirrored down, same thing, 4 and 6. So it makes two sets of numbers. Okay, so big deal. Okay, now I got two sets of numbers. Okay, but here's the thing. Remember, those sets of numbers are built into 9/11. And a seal, I hope everybody knows what a seal is. A seal is something that, depending on the definition of it, seals opening something to a container, unlocking something. There's seals in the Bible. And notice that the seals in the Bible, once they're opened, something happens. There's stuff in the seal. This right here on your dollar bill, that right there is a seal. This circle with the information in it, whether you totally understand what it is, there's a message within that seal. Just like this one. That's a seal. There's information in there, New World Order, there's many definitions, but mainly I'm just trying to tell you, there's a seal. There's seals and the definition of seals. So, going back to this, notice that in this seal, right above it, look at these stars, it's in the shape of this right here. Supposedly that's a Jewish star. So what is a Jewish star, supposedly, which it's not, doing right here on their seal? That's when I said earlier, do your study, that star isn't Jewish, and it isn't the Star of David, and it isn't, it's just, that's not what it's about. So, going back to this, remember 9/11, star, all you're doing is rearranging the seal, whatever, I found what they want to accomplish, there you go, like that, what they want to accomplish, they put in a seal. And they believe that they can bring it to pass. Now notice, when I was studying, remember, there's the star, there's your dollar bill, and many people have seen this, but for the beginner, Mason is built in there, Freemasons, but Mason is built into this Jewish stars that everybody seems to think is a Jewish star. The ones that are awake know that it is not. Also, it is in the middle of this is a hexagram. Now notice right there, hexagram. What is a hex? When you put a hex on something, what do? It's a magic hex. You put a curse on it, whatever it is. So there's things like this that are built into symbolism that is all around you. You may not understand it, but the elites of this world definitely understand it. So anyway, we're going back to, let me go back to 9/11. When I was young, I was told, put my son's cross over it, add it, times it, things will be revealed to you. Things that I was praying, Mark of the Beast, Key of David, a lot of things I was praying about at the time. This is what I was told to do. So right now, when you stop what you're doing, pull up 9/11 attacks on Wikipedia. 9/11 attacks in Wikipedia. All right, so if you go to September 11th, Wikipedia should look like this, September 11 attacks, and you should be able to, I want to show you something, scroll over here to the edge, and just keep it handy, right here. Just want you to look at right here, information. It's about 9/11 attacks. Okay? Now, I want you to see these numbers. 4466. He said times it. Remember the boys told me times it. 44, and do this on your own calculator, not just what I'm telling you. 44 times 66. You get 2904. 2904. Write it down. Then he said add it. 46 and 46. Add it. It's 92. All right. So you got 2904 and 92 built into 9/11, and it's a seal. Okay. 2904 plus 92. You get 2996. That's what you get. And bear with me, I'm kind of new at this. So, now, here we go. 9/11 attacks. Deaths, right here. You see that? 2996. You think I made that up? You think I'm that good? 2996. They put in seals magically what they want to come to. Now, whether you got some people here that say nobody died in 9/11. Also remember, the 19 hijackers, they don't count. Because, what I was shown is whoever pulled off 9/11, it was not bin Laden. It was not, had nothing to do with that. The 19 hijackers didn't die. They wasn't on the planes. You can believe whatever you want to believe. But it goes back to the 2996, the actual real, the deaths they wanted. Now, that's debatable. Some people say they didn't die. I'm just showing you what's built into 9/11. Again, the 19 hijackers would bring it up to 2977. But I'm just telling you, there's no hijackers on there. There's no hijack the planes, anything like that. It goes back to the 2996, showing you the truth. Okay, let's go back. There's even more information. Now, these numbers. The Twin Towers, 44 plus 66. 44 plus 66 is 110. The Twin Towers are 110 were 110 stories tall. Right there. Plain as day. Okay? The other part of this, 9/11 was pulled off to get Muslims, Islam, the teaching of the Quran to battle the teaching of Christianity. Christians against the Muslims. That's what you're looking at right now. ISIS, whatever you want to say. Muslim Brotherhood, whatever it is. Since that time, that's what they wanted. Okay, now, in the elite, with how they do language, symbols, and math is totally different than the way we're taught. Because they don't want us taught that way. Because that's knowledge is power. Okay? And the Quran is made up of 114 chapters. They don't have books. 114 chapters. Okay? And the way they do math is to come up to what they want. 11 times 4, 114. 11 times 4 is 44. Right there. The Quran. 11 times 4, 44. There's a Quran right here. How many books in your Holy Bible? That's right. 66. The two are battling each other. After 9/11, that's what they wanted. And it's continuing today. Meanwhile, the true enemy sits back and laughs. You got Christians over here arguing, ISIS, beheadings. Then you got the Muslims over here. And meanwhile, Satan poked the stick. The evil one, evil men, the elite, secret societies, the rulers of this world are the ones that are sitting back laughing, watching us destroy ourselves, because neither one of us want to take the time here to know what God showed me. See, the more you study about the rulers of this world, and, I was doing the other studies of other religions and things like that, this comes back to Christianity. As Jesus was taken up on a high mountain, led in the Spirit, was tempted by Satan, and asked, to bow down, and he said he would give Jesus the kingdoms of this world if you worship him. Now think about that. Nothing's changed. And why Christians struggle with this is, look, sorry, you may not like the answer, but the kingdoms of this world are been given to Satan, the secret societies, the shadow government for an age, a time. Their time is running out. I don't like that. I don't have the answer. I don't have the master plan of the time frame. I'm just saying the rulers of this world right now, the secret societies, are still under Satan's, rule right now. Because if they wouldn't, then they would be Jesus Christ, and there would be no reason for temptation. Was Satan going to tempt him with something that wasn't his in the first place? And a lot of people have a problem with that. So if you're still sitting out there thinking George Bush is a Christian, or such and such, Putin, it doesn't matter. To get to where you're at in the rulers and the political arena, you are a Luciferian, basically. You're not a Christian, because everything you do, that's why things don't make sense to people sitting in their den right now watching Fox News and CNN. You're like, how can these smart people make these such bad decisions? Well, it's not, believe me, it's not because they're stupid. It is because it's done on purpose, whatever it is. So you have to remember that. These are the builders who rejected the true cornerstone. That's right here. Remember, go back to Mason and what they're building. They are Acts 4:11. I'll put it up in the top for you. They are the builders. That's what the scripture is talking about. Builders who rejected the true cornerstone. Illuminati, Freemasons, secret societies. They do not want to do it the Christ way. Come as a man, die as a man. That's the way we've been shown. He came to correct what Adam and Eve messed up. Period. That's it. There will come another time where man will reach out his hand again. And I'll get into it later in this video, and that's what is all over my website and channel, is transhumanism, those kind of things, that the masses, the people out here, don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I was talking about this since 1998. I wasn't doing videos on it, but I was talking about it, posting, before I started doing videos. People thought I was crazy talking about transhumanism, downloading your mind, cloning, those kind of things. And still, to this day, I still get comments of, think I'm a kook. I'm like, okay, just look what's happening. Look at all the YouTubers now talking about transhumanism. Look at it. Go look at my videos. Look at the dates that I did stuff. The dates are way before most people were talking about it. Not that I was the only one. I'm just saying what God shared with me was, something I was not adept to or didn't have any study on it at all. I didn't even know what it was either. I was just being shown stuff. So now there's much more.
Now, the clips I'm playing for you are from a video that's actually quite a few years old. He's another Christian dude and a lot of awesome content. Nicholson, 1968, shout out. But like me, we're on this journey of knowledge, and God continues. Sometimes it's hard to grasp what God is showing us, but we got to keep an open mind and spirit.